Thank you again for joining for the talk. And yeah, I hope to share my career journey, which I call my finding the fit in my career, and how curiosity and empathy helped me find a place where I'm really happy in. And what I hope to do is encourage you to think about how these can help in your journeys as well. So this is me, Shilpa. I really like asking questions. Much to the annoyance of my parents, as a kid, they said that was number one reason for their headaches. I also loved math at school. Again, a bit of annoyance to my teachers because I would go ahead of chapters and tell my teachers there are better ways to solve the problems, and their solutions were not the most efficient. I also had an interest in humanities. I did sociology. I'm a sociologist by training. And I also really like stories. The reason why I'm talking about these are these have helped me shape who I am today and what I do today. They have shaped what I do as a career as well. So to give a bit of background, today I'm an insight analyst at Decathlon, which is a sports retail company. I started off as an online category manager. So what I used to do was work with commercial teams, communications teams, marketing teams to look at online catalogs and how we can shape our catalogs, work on pricing, for example, or understand what products are doing well, and prepare for campaigns such as Christmas or Black Friday, for example. I really enjoyed doing that, but I felt like something was amiss, and I wanted to do something else on top of it. So I started by reflecting on what I really liked about my current role, and then I thought, okay, maybe that would give me a direction on what I can do next. In the role that I was in, I really liked these 3 points, which was, say, UX and data analytics, looking at what pages are visited most, and after a user adds a product to their cart, what happens next, where do they go, which pages do they visit, etc. I really cared about what customers felt as well. So are there any frustrations that could be removed that makes the customer feel at ease to make a purchase at Decathlon, for example? And I wanted to bring a CX perspective to the business problems. So combining the first 2 points, I wanted to see, for example, if improving conversion was the business problem that needs to be solved. I looked at how customers felt at different points of journey and how improving that would make them more comfortable to ultimately convert, thus improving business performance as well. So moving on from that, here's curiosity and empathy, the main points of what I'm going to talk about today. What's curiosity? For me, curiosity is all about exploring, connecting, and questioning. It's basically understanding whys and looking at whys behind the whys. It's always easier to answer what's and how's, but answering the whys are a bit more difficult. Examples of what curiosity questions that I ask because of my curiosity are, for example, why are certain metrics tracked weekly? Why are they not tracked quarterly or monthly? Would it be more helpful to track it that way? An example from my experience is voice of customer metrics, NPS, Net Promoter Score. Instead of looking that at weekly level, looking that at a quarterly level was more relevant for us. So suggesting that, for example. Or even business goals. Why improving an X metric by Y%, how would that affect customers, for example? And moving on to empathy, they say it's putting yourself in another's shoe. So basically, it's about listening, adapting, and translating whatever requests stakeholders have to what might be most useful for them. Examples, again, from what I asked, from being more empathetic, is let's say a stakeholder asks for quantity per order as a metric that they want to track. I would understand what their reasoning behind that is, how would they use that data, and is it more relevant for them to use, say, average order value instead for their request. So questioning the questions of the stakeholders itself gave me a lot of empathy to try to understand what problems they were trying to solve, and hence ultimately empowering me to provide the right guidance with data for them. And moving on, what I did was, instead of asking what job title I wanted to do, I looked at what problems I can solve. This also means that I also looked at what I would like to solve, what problems, because people have plenty of problems all the time. So I looked at what problems I would like to solve, what I was skilled at doing, and combining that with what problems can I help solve. So how does that look like? I spotted gaps by listening and observing. And what I mean by gaps here is what questions are we currently asking, what questions we should be asking, and what is not being asked. And events like these, for example, inspired me to look at doing things differently, talking to stakeholders, experts, or even listening to podcasts really helped me in that aspect. And then what I did was propose solutions with clear impact. An example would be, we are currently not looking at NPS more importantly. And what I said was, this is something that I can do, I volunteered to do. And then combining that, this is how our conversion rate will look like, or revenue will look like when we improve NPS by 2 points or 3 points, for example. So this is my work today. It's about uncovering patterns in data. This could be behavioral data, transactional data, anything. Understanding stakeholder needs, again, going back to questioning the question behind what stakeholders ask. They come with defined metrics that they want to be answered, but is that really what is going to help them solve their problem? Turning messy questions into insights. Again, going back to data, changing the messy questions into proper questions, and then looking at the data that we have to solve that. And ultimately also writing down insights. So not just providing, this is the metric, this is the number that you're looking for, but this is what the number means, and this is what the number could mean, and this is where we should be, for example. And evaluating CX impact of experiments. We run a lot of A/B test experiments. So usually they have metrics like, say, conversion rate or revenue per user as metrics that are being tracked, mostly digital analytics oriented. But behind these are customers who have feelings and emotions, and also evaluating how certain experiments make them feel is also very helpful. And sharing voice of customer trends to guide decisions. So looking at trends, what are customers talking about, how are customers feeling about certain things, etc. Sharing these to guide decisions and not just pure numbers. And ultimately, all of this, what it does is bridge the gap between data and people. So some takeaways for you today is focus on problems, not job titles, because there's always a lot of problems that companies or people have, and they might not be able to verbalize it themselves. And then applying curiosity and empathy to your own journey. So pay attention to what excites you, what really moves you, and then ask people about their problems. They like talking about it. And notice where you feel the most. Putting it all together, you can use curiosity and empathy to guide your career choices. Thank you so much. And you can find me around to ask any questions or connect on LinkedIn. Thank you.